This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Hello, America, and welcome to the #1 radio station in all of Fort Myers Beach. Beach Talk Radio. Here are your hosts, Kim and Ed Ryan.
And welcome back to Mangaritas for the Friday Happy Hour Show. My name is Ed Ryan. This is my wife, Kim Ryan. And we're so happy to be back at our home base on Friday night after being at Laguna Shores last weekend for an HOA meeting. I always like doing the show at an HOA meeting because you never know what's going to happen. Crazy shit breaks out at an HOA meeting, that's for sure.
And what happened?
It was the most calmest HOA meeting I was ever at. So we have an action-packed show lined up for tonight, everybody. So
I don't like the angle of this camera.
yeah, well, we have a new setup. I don't have that ugly box here, and
No, you have an enormously large table. It's too much.
I told you what the deal was. I bought a 4-foot table, and I got a nice new skirt from our friends at from Gina Heck at oh shit, what the hell?
It's on Arkway.
Yeah, it's on Arkway. Remember, Marie, what's the name of Gina's place? This Creative, right?
Creative?
This dash Creative. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to mention them because they did these nice skirts, the skirt that you see behind us.
Maybe they could make you a skirt.
And we're going to start ordering more stuff from them because they're super fast and they spell our stuff correctly. And we appreciate everything that they do for us. And so what I wanted to say was I wanted to talk real quick about the debris on Estero Boulevard, because here's what the plan's going to be. The county and the state have pretty much told the Fort Myers Beach to go screw. I mean, to go pound sand. They're not going to pick up these giant you've seen them when I mean, they're gigantic. They're huge. Some of them have rebar sticking out of them, so they're dangerous. Some of them are in the bike lane. Some of them are covering the entire sidewalk so the residents can't walk by. And I think part of the problem was some of it was out there before the deadline, and then some of it was pushed out there after the deadline. The deadline being when FEMA is going to reimburse the county to remove all this debris.
I know, but
I think that's how the whole process works.
If you got in the queue, though.
But how do they know who did it after and who did it before?
Well, that was my point. I mean, couldn't you just move it to one place? So now is it the contractor's responsibility to take care of?
Let me tell the story, dear. I mean, if you've read the damn newsletter today, you'd know what the story was. I mean, read your own newsletter that you write. So, what would be the perfect thing would be for the state to say, okay, let's let the contractor or the Crowder Gulf go through one more time, just clean everything out one more time. And then everybody after that, you're screwed. You can't be doing that anymore. And everybody, now there are pictures. I'm pretty sure the town has gone out and taken drone pictures, or they sent the guys out in the dune buggies to take pictures so they know what's there and what would be there after. So definitely don't push anything out afterwards. You can
use my video from the bicycle.
Well, yeah, you can use that too. So here's what everybody needs to do, because we need to start a campaign, asking the state and asking the county to clean it up, because what the town can't clean it up. They don't have the capability to do it.
The county didn't even have the equipment.
Well, what needs to happen is FEMA needs to reimburse Crowder Gulf for somebody to do it one more time. Now, I don't think the county has that kind of equipment, but
do you know what kind of equipment you would need to lift?
Yeah, those giant black trucks is what you need to go.
It's not the trucks; it's the big grabber. Yeah,
right, the claw. Right.
Maybe you could go out there and press it out. You could just throw it in.
What I was thinking is we could do a cleanup. Just get a bunch of people, pick up those giant things. Okay, how silly that sounds.
Yeah, no.
But where do you take it? That's the thing. Where do you put it? Do you put it on the side streets and say, "Oh, I didn't do that"? Anyway, you need to start a campaign. If you want, the squeaky wheel always works. And somebody
I
out
think
there,
it's the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
okay, can
that
you
you
let
were
me tell
looking
the
for.
story? I know you're trying to be funny tonight, but
I'm waiting for
this
you
is some
to
serious
get to
stuff
the end
now.
of the story.
You need to start a campaign, and you need to tell your friends about it, and you need to tell everybody on Fort Myers Beach about it, because the only way it's going to get done by them is if the residents on Fort Myers Beach say, hey, listen, this is dangerous. Here are the 2 people you need to write to, and somebody can type this in the chat box so that you see it and you can share it and you can tell all your friends about it. There are 2 people that need to know what's going on. Write a letter, attach pictures that you've taken on Estero Boulevard, and say this is unacceptable and this needs to be cleaned up. The first person is Kevin Guthrie at the Department of Emergency Management.
He's
DEM.
the director.
Yeah, he's the big kahuna.
He's the big cheese.
Yeah, he's like DeSantis' second in command or something. Kevin.Guthrie.em. E as in emergency, M as in management, .myflorida.com. You see what they do here is they make these things so confusing.
Not really.
Well, there's no at in that email. It's kevin.guthrie.em.myflorida. Where's the at? You see, that's how they do it. They confuse you so you can never get in touch with anyone in government. Anyway,
Listen,
somebody will look it up.
His inbox is full with the whole emergency.
Yeah.
That whole alert, the emergency alert the other night at 4:45.
Somebody will look that up to make sure I got it right. It's clearly going to be on the DEM's website. I can't believe there's got to be an ad in there. It's probably kevin.guthrie@em. Somebody try it out and make sure it doesn't get kicked back. And the second one is, and I know you're not.
Can you look that up?
I know you're not going to like this.
The email for Kevin Guthrie.
I know I have this card at my house.
So silly.
I know you're not going to like this, but Ray Sandelli, you need to write a letter to Ray Sandelli. He's the Lee County commissioner that is in charge of. Not in charge, but he's responsible for Fort Myers Beach. And his email address is dist, D as in dog, IST3, like District 3, dist3@leegov.com. Now, I know that's right because I looked it up. Those are the 2 people you should write the letter together to, both of them, and attach those pictures of some of those monstrosities that you see on Estero Boulevard. The only way that the town, if this doesn't happen, the town is going to have to enforce, find the contractor or the property owner that pushed all that stuff on Estero Boulevard.
But isn't Estero Boulevard the county?
It is. And the county, You know what the county's doing? That's what the county's doing to the town of Fort Myers Beach. That's not our responsibility anymore. They're saying if you want to enforce it, you go ahead and enforce it. So while the town's trying to push out these permits, now what? They're going to take the staff off the permitting department and make them go out and try and figure out who put the debris out there, and then what?
I don't think.
And then they're going to find them, or right? What needs to happen is there needs to be
brush it for fingerprints.
How are they going to find out? How are they going to find out who did it? Well, they're going to try and figure out. Okay, is it close to this place where it used to be, or is it from this property owner's location? So they go and try and find the property. I mean, you can see the work that would need to go into that. As opposed to just taking those big black trucks with the big claw, picking the stuff up, putting in the trucks one last time. And then after that, anybody that pushes their stuff out is in big trouble. So,
Holly, did you vet that? Because I know that's what Ed said.
There's an at sign missing. So anyway, I'm sure it's on the DEM website.
I appreciate her putting that up there.
Thank you, Holly. And Kevin and Ray Sandelli's email is dist, DIST3@leegov.com. You should send them both emails, and you should tell everybody in your neighborhood to do the same thing, or you're not going to be able to walk down the sidewalk on Estero Boulevard or ride your bike for quite a long time. Anything you want to add to that?
I tried to add, and you shut me down.
Right.
So
let's introduce our first 2 guests of the show today. Come on down, Valerie and Logan. Ladies and gentlemen, Valerie and Logan from Valerie's Lounge and Liquors on Fort Myers Beach. You guys can sit in either.
So much.
Thank you so much.
Hi there.
We just have to look at that. Perfect. Our camera's right up here. So, and Valerie, I'm guessing you're the owner.
I am. It's 20 years. It was 20 years, November 20th. My mom and dad got in business with me. I got in business with them actually way back when. And they had been retired for about 10 years from the surf club. And fortunately, we're kind enough to bring me into the business. I was raised in it, but actually work with them and stuff. And
So how long were they? Did they live on the beach then? How
they
long?
do. Well, they live with me now. They lost their house in the storm. My childhood home. They lived on San Carlos Island, all the way down on the end. So they got pummeled.
Right.
I mean, just pummeled. But they bought the surf club in 1980, actually.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Valerie, about the surf club.
Oh God, here it goes.
The surf club is like in one of the best locations on Fort Myers Beach.
Yeah.
But it never opened. Like
no, okay.
The last few years, it seemed like
where the surf club at present is not the bar that
I see.
own. So when they moved across the street, my uncle actually had been running the bar. My parents leased it to. It's kind of a long story, but no, that isn't. We're not affiliated.
I see. So the surf club used to be on the other side. That became the Mermaid.
That's right. That's
the Mermaid.
The Mermaid, right? And
Loved the Mermaid.
So the Mermaid, we actually got that name because the Beached Whale many years ago was the Mermaid Club. And we were trying to keep
Whale was
it.
the Mermaid Club. Wow.
Yeah,
it's a wounded
really
web there that everybody's weaving.
It is. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So what?
Nothing.
So now tell everybody where your Valerie's is now.
We're at Valerie's Lounge. We're located right across the Walmart at 17264 San Carlos Boulevard. Been there for well over 20 years. We just had the 20th anniversary on the 20th of November.
And you are the general manager there?
I am, yes.
Mm-hmm. So do you like kick people out if they get sideways too?
If I'm there, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm there most of the time, so yeah. I kicked out my fair share of people.
We tried to avoid situations like that as much as possible.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about his history. It's long and tawdry.
A brawler?
Yeah.
Not really. If it happens, I'm usually on the wrong end of it. So.
Yeah, no, my thing has always been, my family also. I'm a woman. I want a woman to be able to come in there and feel like safe and that they could come in
unaccompanied and
that's
have
right,
it right.
And so with that comes, bartenders that really have to be very in tune with what is going on and hopefully stop something terrible from happening.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to beat the shit out of somebody, Valerie?
I have never ever been in a fight in my life. I've
Nice.
never ever been in a fight. No.
All right.
I don't think people are too scared because I'm so tall. They wouldn't even.
You
try
are tall. How tall are you?
I'm a little over 5'10". Yeah.
I wish I had some of that height.
Now, tell us where your customers come from.
Well, geez, it is very different now than it was 8 months ago.
No kidding.
I'll tell you that. Typically the season is filled with snowbirds from St. Indian Creek and Bayside, but all those people are homeless,
and they're suffering through so much crap with their ownership of those two areas.
It's such a mess. I don't understand what's going on, but I just feel like it is just a shame, and it's being done very poorly. But I don't know enough to delve into it too much. But
so who's coming there now?
So now, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of people that were maybe they'd come in once every couple of weeks, coming more often, maybe because their place that they were going to isn't around anymore, and we do have a lot of new customers, surprisingly. I mean, I think that it surprised me actually how busy we got after the storm. I didn't know what to expect.
And how long were you down after the storm? Like how long did it take?
For about 3 months, a little bit longer.
Wow.
So,
a lot of damage, or?
Yeah, we got a little over a foot of water, which, as you guys know, that once you get water, that's it. So I did the work. We did the work just with the staff. I mean,
nice.
I couldn't get any contractors that were honest and that wanted to do any work for a reasonable price. And so we buckled down and got it done. Fortunately.
Learned a lot of new skills.
Yes, we did. All construction by
power
YouTube.
tools.
Yes, that's right. That's
and I think people, when they find a place that opens, they just want to go and support them and help them get.
Yeah, and I think people needed to be around other people that knew what it was like, and that was so traumatic. I mean, it still is traumatic.
Yeah,
right. I just was saying to somebody today, like I still have to push it down sometimes when I drive past something that I was part of my childhood or whatever. And I know it's not coming back. It's really hard.
Right.
Where was the house that you grew up in on the beach?
So it was down, do you know San Carlos Drive?
Mm-hmm.
So all the way down at the very end. It was the second to last house on the end. My parents lived right next door to Tom and Ellie, who were the original owners of the lighthouse. Tom senior, but their house is gone as well. But on the end of the street there, maybe a fourth of the houses, maybe less than that, are left. The rest of them have either were like pretty much washed away or have been taken down since.
What most of the, tell us about the people that you knew or know that were affected by that. Are they rebuilding or are they leaving?
Well, on my parents' street, more people are moving than are staying, and that really, on the end, that is a lot of the homes on my mom and dad's street is new construction, which did survive, which is hopeful, right? At least we know that they can build things that can survive
withstand
something.
that.
Right?
Yeah.
So devastating, but a lot of people are moving. That being said, though, initially, right after the storm, everyone I talked to was gone. They were leaving. They weren't coming back. They just didn't have it in them. And then I've kind of found through time, people are kind of coming around and they're coming back and they want to come back. And so I hope that we're going to see more of that, because if we don't, then who's going to live here?
Yeah. Like at the beginning, a lot of people are just like, oh, screw it.
I'm out.
I can't take this. And you can understand that. Like going through, especially still seeing it now, 7 months later, fighting with insurance and fighting with permitting and they're just fighting with everybody. And I guess that's just the way it is. I mean, you're pretty much out on your own.
It shouldn't be this hard.
Did you have difficulty with your insurance company?
I'm still having difficulty with
at your business.
At my business, I didn't have flood insurance. I only had wind, and so that was a huge hit after 20 years. But it is what it is.
So they didn't help you. It's a hurricane. Which
flood insurance.
Includes wind, but the flood, there would be no water without the wind.
Which makes sense to everyone.
Right. Well, to a logical person, but not to an insurance company.
It's just disgusting, honestly.
Right.
How this whole thing works, but again, because we were forced into having to do the work ourselves, I think that I probably wouldn't be open had I had to hire people out.
Right.
So we started that whole process long before I knew I wasn't going to get any money.
Yeah.
I did it all thinking that it would pan out and I was going to get to, and I just ended up not. So, but we were able to do it and survive it because we did it ourselves. So. Yeah.
Logan, do you want to participate in the interview at all today? Or
maybe.
So what is your background? How long have you been there?
I'm born and raised here on the beach. I've been working here at this bar for about 3.5 years now. I started Mermaid and Vows both like the same day. I used to work at Castaways on the south end of the beach. My family's been on the beach pretty much their whole life.
Now, were you guys beach school kids? Beach elementary?
I wasn't beach school kids, but when my father, I don't know if you guys know Breadman. That's my father, but he's been on the beach pretty much his whole life.
Does he sell bread? Did he sell bread?
He did the bread route for about 20 years. Yeah.
Wow. Remember those old days when you got milk and bread delivered to your house?
He's just barely.
I used to sleep on the bread in the back of the truck.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Oh, Jesus Christmas, 25.
Yeah, right? I know.
Get out.
We shouldn't have anybody that young on the show.
He never held a tape in his hands. Cassette tape. He doesn't know what those are.
Yeah,
yeah, no kidding. I'm surprised he knows what a CD is. Forget about 8-track. So
now, do you guys have bingo?
We have bingo.
All right.
We have bingo. Yes,
Mom,
we have got bingo.
My mom is coming to visit in a couple of weeks.
You have got to.
And that is one thing she asked to do was
really
bingo. Yes. And I said, Mom, I don't know any place that has bingo. And then when I was doing my research, I'm like, but bam, that is where we're going.
I am telling you right now, even if you come across somebody who says, I don't like bingo.
It's awesome.
Oh.
It is so much fun. We have such a good time. And it's not like we don't do like traditional bingo where everybody's like real quiet.
Right.
Nobody's having a good time. It's still a bar.
Right.
And it's only 3 hours. So if you come and you really, really don't want to play, you can stick it out.
Right.
Certainly towards the end. But But I started with one night about 15 years ago, Thursday nights, and then about a year later, I added another day, and then now I'm up to 4 days.
Wow.
And it is
Nice.
So
it
wait,
is a
so
ball.
give me all the juice on
so
the.
we the proceeds go to charity.
Okay,
We've got
perfect.
3 charities that we work with
We
currently.
just got a fourth one.
Which ones are they? Go ahead and mention them.
We got Valerie's House for
Mhm.
battered women.
Yep.
We got Tabarini Foundation. We just got Path for Hope, and the new one we just got is Mr. Frank's Dog Sanctuary. For
That
dogs
one
with
I've never
mental
heard of.
Yeah, I guess it's for dogs that are elderly and people don't want to take care of anymore.
Oh,
It's
that's
like a
so
place for
nasty.
them to retire, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's
Yeah.
like the most wonderful thing.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Frank's.
I believe it's Mr. Frank's Lucky
Hmm.
Franks.
I didn't.
Franks,
I
that's
didn't know that your mom wanted to play bingo. Last
No.
time she was here, she
She-
asked me about the naked twister games, and it was
No,
just
no,
so
no.
weird.
No, she
Yeah.
did not.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
she
we
wants to play
could- maybe
bingo.
we can
So
work it out. I don't know.
maybe we can get a group and come on down. What nights is bingo? What nights
So-
are bingo?
we have Thursday is the only evening, and that's from 6 to 9.
Okay, well then we got.
And then Monday and Saturday, it's from 2 to 5. And then on Tuesday, it is from 1 to 4. And Tuesdays, you get free hot dogs. We give away hot dogs.
there you go.
And we have other things going on during bingo, other ways that you can kind of participate. And,
Mm.
stuff.
And then do you get the daubers? Do the
we've
daubers
got
come with it?
you just need to show up, and we've
Yeah.
got everything else there for
How
you.
many cards do you think you could manage at
Oh, it-
once?
You get 3 sheets
I
on one
don't
card.
honestly
Oh,
don't.
he could. You guys would be lucky if he could manage one
I,
damn
I
sheet.
honestly don't think I've ever played bingo in my life.
Oh, you got to come
Never.
and play.
I mean, where would you go to play? Where would I go to play
I've
bingo?
played bingo a ton of times.
There's
Where?
bingo halls.
In the
There are
Cape.
bingo halls.
I've
Yeah.
gone to the Cape.
First of all,
before
I only go
close.
to the Cape for one reason, and that's to pick up merchandise. I would never go to the Cape for any other
The
reason.
bingo
Why
is
would you go
great.
to the Cape?
You got like
What,
the
you went to
old-
the Cape to play
Yeah.
bingo?
Yeah, years ago with my mom.
I see.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
they
think where. I
spin it
mean, where
around.
would you go to play
Used
bingo?
to be you
Oh,
had
Except
the
for Valerie's.
sheet, but now you've
The
got the
high-tech.
thing
All
that
the
blows
What
up.
is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
new
yeah, yeah.
thing, Slingo or Singo or what? What
Oh,
is
I
the
don't
whole
know about
Singo
that. I
thing?
haven't
Did you hear
We
about
are
that?
doing
It's
drag
like
queen
singing bingo.
though.
Dear, this is an interview between you and me.
No,
Valerie
I
just
know.
said. Now, who do you have for drag queen bingo?
It's the very first time we've
I
ever
see.
done it before. So, and we're actually the proceeds are gonna go to Little Betty.
Little
she's-
Betty? What's
mhm.
wrong with Big Betty? Who's Little Betty, by the way?
I heard Big Betty's doing fine. Little Betty, however, has had some trouble since the storm.
Is
She's
that a-
been on the island for
Is that a-
forever and ever. She's 90.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes. And
what's
she's,
Little Betty's last name?
Oh, geez. You know what? I'm not even.
Okay.
Everybody who
100%.
knows her
Oh,
knows her.
of
by
course.
Little Betty.
Janine has
Thanks,
to.
Scott. All right, way to go,
Alyssa
Janine. Thanks.
Alyssa LeMay is going to be first. We love Alyssa
Oh,
LeMay. She's been on
Alyssa.
the show several
Yep.
times. Yes.
Yes.
Several. She's been on twice. You know, you got to
Well,
invite
twice
her
is
back.
several, all right? Twice isn't one. Several isn't once. Are we going to go the whole night when you're criticizing me?
Make sure that we
Yeah.
don't forget to mention it. I'm sorry. Is that we're doing a comedy night too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
First time, one night. It's Sunday the 30th, and it's at 7:00. It's free to come. So it's a really great comedian, Stacey Steele.
Oh,
She's
I love
laughing.
her.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is. I always wanted
She's
to do
local.
stand up.
Please.
you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Please.
that
Give
would
us
be
a
so
joke.
much
I want to
fun.
hear something.
Oh boy. Let's see. The joke is that I married him.
Very
I'm
good.
not laughing at
Very
Yeah,
good.
you couldn't last 30 seconds on stage in front of a
No, I
live
don't
audience
think I could
without
tell
peeing
jokes.
your
I think-
pants.
No, I think I could tell funny
The
stories.
answer- Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead
I
and
like
tell.
that
Go ahead and
better.
tell a funny story right now. Yeah.
Aren't you
Let's
nervous
see.
about
Let's
her
see
maybe
about
telling us
some
And nothing
stories
that's
from the beach in the
Yeah.
evening.
That's not- those aren't funny. No. You see? Or the spoons. You're gonna bring up the spoons,
Yeah.
right?
You
All right,
want
those are
none
total-
of those shared.
No, those are total inside stories that
That is
make
way
no sense
inside
to anybody.
baseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what, Valerie? What are the hours of your place?
We're-
It's every day from 9 to 2 a.m. And on Tuesday through Friday, we actually open from 7
7
to
a.m.
2 a.m.
But there's no food. It's
No food, just a
Just
bar
a
and liquor store.
bar
We
and
do have some
liquor.
bar snacks, some
Okay.
chips, some
9
beef sticks,
a.m.?
Yeah.
9 a.m. to
Okay.
2 a.m.
do you have these? Do you have these
That's
gambling?
a long hours.
It's a
That's a
lot-
lot of
it's a lot.
hours to staff.
Yes.
Do you have
It's a
these
lot.
gambling games like they have here? Because people are totally addicted to these things. I
Mhm.
mean, some of these people sit at these machines for hours.
None of your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah,
It's none of my
You know,
business?
I mean, I really, I don't know what the deal is with the whole gambling thing, but I
Do you
think
have a
that
pool
people should
table?
be able to.
We do,
Yes,
yes.
Oh, I
we
see.
do.
Do you have a foosball table?
No,
See, foosball
You know
is
what we
so
do have?
out of
What
do you
style.
have?
we have one of those photo booths where you can get the
Oh
old
yeah, yeah, yeah,
school
yeah.
photos,
Oh, that's
which I
awesome.
love.
That's fun.
And we have darts. We have a dart league actually.
Ah,
What
Oh,
about
really?
Yes.
what about the
I would
corn
like to
the
do
corn
that.
dog thing? The corn
It's
cornhole. I
cornhole,
do-
whatever.
Look,
We
Sorry.
actually just bought some boards for Sunday mornings, or
Aw.
pretty much any time.
Did you get like
Corn
a
dog.
specialty cornhole things made up with your logo on it, or just plain boards?
No, actually,
Do you
we
have
just got
pinball?
it because
For
we're
pinball, we
trying
do not,
to
no.
think of like
Yeah.
we
I'm
can
so
do that
old.
inside.
Logan,
It's getting
come
hot.
Oh, yeah, for
It's
sure.
We're
getting
actually
so
just looking
hot.
at our arcade machine.
Julie
Add a
wants to
bunch
know
of
if you
those
sell
games.
T-shirts.
We do
Yeah.
actually. We do sell shirts, and we are getting. Logan was working on it today. In fact, we're going to be selling them online.
Oh,
Pretty much
that's
be able
the
to get
best
anything.
thing.
So,
Holy cow! When
Yeah.
the mermaid was
So-
going out,
Mhm.
we stood in line. We
Yeah,
both
that was
have.
crazy.
We both
It
have
That
the
was
long sleeve
crazy.
shirts. That I. ugh.
You
They
know, I
could've
wasn't
sold them-
going to get any more, but then after the storm, so many people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
come
got some
in.
more.
I did, and I will order more because everybody lost all their stuff, and
Yeah.
I just
Mm.
think that it's
No, that's a great idea.
yeah.
I saw a bunch of bikers because I ride my regular bicycle on the beach on Sunday, and I saw a bunch of bikers, and the first thing I
Yeah.
thought of was church. There, I know.
My gosh,
I know.
You know, my mom started the Bloody Mary thing back in
Mhm.
like '81, and I mean, that really was.
Yeah.
the
Wait,
place
what's the
to
Bloody
be on
Mary
Sunday
thing?
morning.
What's the
A
Bloody
dollar
Mary?
Bloody. We have it at Valerie's,
I
but
see.
at the Surf Club / Mermaid, we had dollar Bloody Marys on Sunday morning. There was no place to be other than
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
the
Why don't you
Mermaid.
Why don't
No.
you pick up the bike thing?
We do, I do, but it's just, you know, I think
It's-
the bike, they like to be there because they can
Mhm.
watch all the people go by and the
Mhm.
girls
On
in
the beach.
bikinis and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't have that happening out
Gotcha.
in front of my place.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you remember what
If
was
you do, you
that?
don't want to see it.
What was that
Yeah.
movie where all the bikes were lined up? It's like a classic old movie, and someone comes up and just
Knocks them all down.
25-year-old knows what I'm talking
What
about.
movie was it?
Wasn't it like it was the guy, there was a monkey in it,
Oh,
an orangutan.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I
It's-
wish you
yes.
didn't do that to me. I'm going
Hey,
to think of it tonight,
the-
like in the middle of the night.
and be like, yep, that was a
Yep.
classic movie where he comes out and he knocks them all over.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles.
No, no. Have you ever heard of the Broken Spoke bar and
No.
restaurant? Okay, never mind.
No.
Is this one of your jokes that you're going
No.
to tell on stage?
Nope.
Is that local?
No, it's in Leesburg, Florida.
Oh, no,
nobody's
yeah.
been to
It
Leesburg
is,
except you.
No, I had an unfortunate bike.
Yeah.
Incident?
Yep.
Logan, do you,
I recreated
are
that.
you selling the shirts online yet?
Not quite yet. I
Okay.
haven't finished setting it up, but I'm setting up for both Valerie's and Mermaid merchandise.
Okay, so you guys, you're going to sell mermaid merchandise too.
That's
We are,
what she
yeah.
just said.
Oh, I thought
They're
you meant her
gonna do
own
the
shirts. I
house.
thought you meant your own
No,
shirts.
no,
Oh,
no,
it's
for the
cool.
customers who
Oh, those
lost
would be
their-
classics.
Yeah.
$100 each.
Yeah.
Sell it for
No
$100
way.
each. No joke.
I would never.
I have one of the short sleeve shirts and the long sleeve shirts. They're
Yeah.
all amazing. That was such a iconic place. If
Yeah.
you
It
went
really
to
was.
Fort Myers Beach and didn't go in there, you missed out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
missed out.
And I know they were going to try to kind of lift it and move it somewhere else, but I'm sure if they
So-
lifted it, it would have fell to pieces
Yeah,
because it was
listen,
kind of
that
old.
building was hanging on by a
Sure.
thread. I'm here to tell you. We actually were, every so often we were having to jack the cooler up. It was sinking into the
Yeah.
sand. It made it through several really, really bad storms.
Yeah.
I mean, it was miraculous that it was.
Were you able to keep a piece of that?
I do have a piece actually.
What
I
do you
was
have?
hoping they would auction some of that off
Oh, yeah.
because
You know, they were really mad though. I was with my cousin and her husband and my little cousins, and they ran across the street and were bugging the construction guys to give
Yeah.
them some, and they were like, "Just get out of here, kid."
Did we
No.
Get
name
a couple pieces.
Did we
of it.
name the movie yet?
Somebody
Uh,
got it.
Every Which Way But Loose.
Yep.
Clint
Yep.
Eastwood.
Clint
You
Eastwood,
guys are
yeah.
rock stars out there.
Mhm.
Peter got that
I
one. John got that
watched that
one.
movie.
Julie
I've
got
never
that
seen
one. Very
Wasn't
nice.
the
Smart
guy
people
in
out
the
there.
movie? He had a big belly and a spider tattoo on the belly. I think that was that movie.
Who
Every
was-
Which
who
Way
was
But
that?
Loose.
Who's
I
the
don't
guy
know.
with the
I
big
don't
belly?
know. I
Was
don't
that the
know.
guy from
But there was
Deliverance?
the right. No, you're way out of the genre.
Genre.
Can I wish my mom and dad a happy 50th?
Absolutely not. I
wedding
mean, well, of course you
anniversary?
can. How crazy
Totally.
is that? Go
I
ahead.
just want to say happy anniversary to my mom and dad. It was yesterday. Scott and Kathy
Happy
Vancello.
Anniversary.
50 years.
50 years.
55.
Wow. What did they do on
55
their
years.
anniversary?
Actually, they are they're vacationing right now, but I know my mom is
We're
like
gonna
a
replay
huge
this back.
fan. Huge fan. She
Well,
listens.
congratulations. 55 years
Wait,
with the
what were you
same
saying?
person.
My mom is a huge fan. She listens
Of
to all
what?
your shows.
Oh,
Your
oh,
show.
oh.
When you see a compliment coming, you don't talk over it like that. What is wrong with you? Jeez. Thank you to your
55
mom.
years.
Yes.
Got it. I'm a fan too, but she's a
Super fan.
She
Well,
is.
we
Thank you
appreciate
all.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
at 55 years to the same person is
Yeah,
amazing.
That is.
I thought I'd make it 10. I figured I'd really be
Here
like
comes another
18.
stab in the back.
That would be great. But after 18, I was like, I want to tap out. And he just keeps going.
Tap
I
out.
mean, like 18 was enough. Now we're at 25, something
Oh, who's
like
keeping
that.
track anymore? It's
Good
just
for
been
you
pure
guys.
bliss.
That's really commendable, though.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
totally
Is it
commendable.
though, Valerie? Is
Yeah.
it?
It really
At
is.
some point, you reach the point of no return. Like, you know,
Right.
you're not getting anybody else.
No, I said if you don't kick it before I, just certain looks, then now forget it. What am I
Oh
going to
my
do
God,
now?
You guys are darling.
Jeez.
You guys are darling.
So, what else you want people to know about Valerie?
Well,
And why are
know-
you wearing a mermaid hat and not a Valerie's
Because-
hat?
Yeah,
because it
I love that.
And why are you
I
not
love
wearing
that.
a hat to cover that head right there?
I-
You should be wearing a
Ah,
Valerie's
snap.
hat,
I got
Mr.
a tank top at
25.
least.
You
And
know,
so it's Valerie's Lounge and Liquor
Valerie's
Store.
Lounge and Liquors, right? So we are.
Do you sell? Are you packaged store?
We are packaged. So
Okay.
we have one storefront. We've got 4 storefronts in a strip mall. One storefront is the package store, and the other 3 are the bar. And it's a family run place, and it really is something that I take a whole lot of pride in. I know Logan does too, but I want to obviously make my parents proud.
Mhm.
I grew up here. I have customers say to me all the time, tell the other bartenders, I've known her since she was this big. I
That's
was
a
6 when
big thing to live
It
up
is.
to, too. That's a
It
lot of
is.
stress.
It
Yeah.
is. Fortunately, I've been in it long enough, or
Mhm.
whatever, but that it doesn't bother me as much as
Right.
it used to. But it's a great bar, and it's a neighborhood
I
place. and
cannot
would-
wait to come down.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going to
would
look
love
you
to
both
have you
up.
guys. I
Be
would
careful
love to
what
have
you
you.
wish for.
Well, thank
See
you
you
so
there.
much for coming on, and we
Thank
hope to
you
see
so
you.
much.
We hope to
And
see you
I
down
appreciate
there.
all you guys do.
Tell everybody
Thank
where-
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Tell
And-
everybody where it is again.
It's 17264 San Carlos Boulevard. Fort Myers Beach is the address, but it's right before the beach, across from the Walmart.
And that's still
Indian
considered
Creek Lounge.
okay, and that's still
Indian Creek Plaza.
considered Fort Myers Beach.
It is.
even though you can't vote there.
Can't vote. Kind of like San Carlos Island.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
no
yeah,
man's land. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
Thank you both for coming in, and
Thank
we'll
you
see you
so
down there
much.
soon. All right, everybody, the folks from Valerie's, and we appreciate them coming on very much. There's a lot of information to share with you before Patrick comes on from Liberty Roofing. I'm going to start with one of our newest sponsors, the Landau Law Group. Was your Hurricane Ian insurance claim denied, delayed, or underpaid? Are you getting the runaround from your insurance company? Don't get frustrated. Call the attorneys at the Landau Law Group. Matt, Eric, and Paul over at Landau have been helping folks with hurricane claims in the community and in communities throughout Florida for 30 years. Here's the phone number. Somebody type it in there. They're going to be on the show next Saturday to answer your questions. And then they're going to stay and hang out at Wahoo Willie's. And they're going to have a spread or something just to answer your questions, because people are getting screwed down there and it's not right. If your claim hasn't been paid this far along, the insurance companies are operating in bad faith. You've heard that before. Here's the number for the Landau Law Group, 1-866-703-4878, 1-866-703-4878. And we look forward to having those folks on the show. Speaking of insurance, you might need to get somebody to help you out after you got a check or didn't get a check. Dorston Claims, Mark Dorston. Here's his phone number, 239-849-2949. Even if you got a check, they might have just been giving you a check to get you off their back. So you get a public adjuster. And that's Dorston Claims. Mark Dorston has been a sponsor on the show since the storm because he's getting shit done for people on the beach. He's getting them more money. You know, it's kind of like a process. You get a public adjuster, and then you get an attorney. And we got them all lined up for you. give Mark Dorson a call. You've probably seen his signs down on the beach because he's getting people money. 239. Somebody type it in there for me if you can. 849-2949. 239-849-2949. Dorston Claims. Mark, thanks so much for being a sponsor of the show. Okay, so what we were telling you about earlier was this campaign that we have to get started to get this debris off Estero Boulevard. And the email addresses are somewhere in the chat box. Holly went and figured it out because I screwed up the @ sign. And we need you guys to write to Ray Sandelli, who's the Lee County Board of Commissioners representative for Fort Myers Beach, and that's dist3@leegov.com. Also, Kevin Guthrie from the state. He's the guy, he holds all the power. He can make the decision tomorrow and say, all right, send the trucks out there and we're going to reimburse the county for it. Kevin.Guthrie@EM. E is in Ed. M is in mommy. .myflorida.com. It's the only way something's going to get done. The greasy wheel gets the spoon or whatever the saying is. But you need to contact those two people and you need to do it repeatedly and you need to attach the pictures of Estero Boulevard and all that shit that's piled up, those giant piles. It's BS that the town is going to have to now enforce it. They don't have enough personnel as it is right now to get the permitting done or to get everything else done. That stuff needs to be cleaned up. And the only way that it's going to happen is if you guys start a campaign, attach those pictures, and send it to those two people. That's the way it's going to get done. We'll put everything on the Facebook page after that and make sure that we keep pushing it out. You know, folks, this show wouldn't survive without great sponsors like Valerie's. They're a sponsor of the show. I mean, full disclosure, and so is Patrick McKenna from Liberty Roofing. But the great thing about having folks like Patrick and Valerie on the show is because, you know, one is a business that suffered during the hurricane and now she's back up and running. And one is somebody that is helping out people in the community. I thought you were bringing him over and now we went back, sat back down. It was going to be like a perfect segue. And so Patrick is going to come over and tell us about his company, Liberty Roofing, because as I always say, grab number 3, Patrick. There you go. Number 3, seat number 3. Very nice.
3's my favorite number.
First of all, thank you for being a sponsor of the show. We appreciate your business very much. And as I was telling the folks here, it kind of meshes together because so much is going on the beach, and we're trying to get information out, and they need information like from companies like yours because they probably will need a roof.
Well, yeah,
most likely. I have a friend that I've been friends with for years.
Right in your face now.
I want everybody to hear you.
So how's that?
Perfect.
She called me up and was like, we just got totally devastated. You've got to come down here and check it out. And so I flew down and I drove from Naples to Punta Gorda, and it was just devastation everywhere. So I was like, okay, let's see what we can do.
Where did you come down from?
Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Marie did just say that to me. Yeah. Rhode Island's such a little tiny state, right?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's perfect.
But it's got a great airport right there. So.
Right. In and out. It's perfect.
Yep.
You've got the city, and then we live out in the woods a little bit by the beaches. So South Rhode Island. And
so you guys came down, checked it out.
So I came down, checked it out. I just didn't know exactly what was happening because you see the news. You don't know if they're just focusing on one specific area. And so we came down, but it took me 2.5 months to get registered and licensed and everything, which is fine. But it was Massachusetts is supposedly the hardest to get licensed in, and this was actually more difficult. It was lengthy.
Yeah.
Was it difficult in it's good because they really vet people, or was it difficult in that there's just a lot of red tape, so to speak?
No, well, I like it because it was difficult and you had to know your stuff, and which is different. First, you also have to take a business test. So I had to take 2 tests, one for roofing and then one for business management, which I tell you,
to get licensed in the state of Florida.
I'm telling you, my accountant would have a hard time.
Wow.
I only got an 83 on that, 97 on the roofing. I don't know what question I got wrong, but
why did you have to take a business exam?
Well, just to
doesn't-
make sure you're not.
Was it like laws and rules and that kind of
A
stuff?
lot of accounting. It was a
Okay.
lot of accounting to make sure you could be a successful business.
Make sure you could do the math.
Yeah. Which, I offload that to my accounting team.
Yeah, well, he
but,
offloads that too. So
so it took a while. It would have been nice if I could have just scheduled the exam and taken it.
mhm.
But because you have to wait and there was a lot of that was the waiting line. I don't think that's Florida's fault. I think that's probably the testing facilities. Other than that, it was pretty simple. And I know you guys have heard a lot of nightmares.
Yeah.
Fort Myers Beach is the best town to pull a permit in for roofing.
Wow.
I'm telling
There
you.
you go.
I know everybody's blown away.
Everybody's head just
I'm
spun
telling you,
around.
everybody's
on their
blown away.
access.
It's like at least they're techie. So I send them an email. They reply to the email. They
There you
have
go.
a website where I can upload the documents and I can, everybody has their hiccups. But for roofing, boom, 24 hours, I have a permit.
Why do you think it's?
I'll tell you. I think I know why. Because what we've heard is that the problem is that contractors who are unfamiliar with the process or whatever are having trouble. But it sounds like you know what you're doing, so it flowed a lot better.
Right. Well, I'm not going to name the cities and towns because
Oh,
I'm still
please
doing
name
business in them.
Mhm.
But some of them brag about how they don't like the tech stuff. I physically have to print up pieces of paper,
Wow.
get them notarized. Listen, I can buy the house with the digital signature, but I can't put the roof on it. I have to get something notarized
Crazy.
and print it. And it's just
But that's not there. That's
It's not
other
there.
places.
So
Yeah.
why do you think the permitting process for you in Fort Myers Beach was so easy? And why does it? It just seems like that not many people are saying that.
well, because roofing is very simple. We're stripping off the roof. We're putting a new roof on.
Okay.
So all we have to do is make sure that the deck is nailed off perfectly, that the underlayment goes on perfectly, and that the roofing goes on perfectly.
Okay.
It's very simple. It's not structural. It's
All
not.
right.
I hear a lot of people complaining about the fencing, blah, blah, blah. Well, a fence permit anywhere takes a long time because you're dealing with property lines. And
I
it has
see.
to be. So
Mm.
I can understand that. But I think Fort Myers Beach recognized the system right away, and they're digital. So they have a website. You can
Well, that's
upload the
great.
documents. You can
There
email
are
the
towns that
documents.
aren't digital in this age.
Well, that's
I'm
what he
telling
was
you,
just
I know
saying.
it doesn't
my
make
mind.
any sense.
I
Yeah.
even emailed the governor that I know it's different. Florida is much bigger. When I email the governor, someone actually gets back to me in Rhode Island. It's pretty funny. It's pretty
Well,
funny.
he's right
So I
down
was
the
like, oh,
street
yeah. I'm like,
for
oh,
you
yeah, they're
guys.
gonna reply.
Does the
But
governor of Rhode Island get back to himself or a staff
it's-
member?
No, it's a staff member. But a senator or a congressman does.
Sure.
Yeah,
Because they want your vote.
for sure.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that. But
Well, no. Go ahead.
Yeah, you piss off 50% of your customers if you do that.
No, we'll be all right. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. But the thing that was surprising is that in Lee County, every town and city has a different system.
Mhm.
And it's just it's
Mhm.
so draconian and it takes so much time. These people you can't get anything done until you get the roof done.
Yeah.
So you have to waterproof the building. And it's almost I'm telling you, it's like they're proud to be in their Neanderthal ways. And it's you do this. Oh, well, we're 8 weeks out on emails. Okay. Oh,
Right.
well. no, it's
Meanwhile,
gonna
their
be-
house is
Yeah.
underwater.
I had one lady who thought I was screwing her. I'm listen, they're 8 weeks out before they'll even look at it. And
Wow.
she got very upset. There was nothing I could do to convince her. I'm everything's online. You can look it up.
Right.
And so, the fact that they're dragging things on so much, and then, if you had one website where everything was the same.
Like the
So
town.
for Rhode
So the
Island,
town.
For Rhode Island and Massachusetts, it's one website.
I
You
see.
upload all the documents. It's all right there. So it should be the same for Florida because it's all the same. You have your NOCs, you have everything, all the documents right there. And these are off the shelf items they could purchase.
Yeah.
So
But every town's got their own
every
website
town's
down
different.
here.
Some towns love to waste money.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't really
Yeah.
get it.
So,
So you've had good success on Fort Myers Beach getting permits.
Yes.
And now, what kind of roofs are you putting on? Shingle roofs? I don't really know what I'm
shingles
talking
and
about.
metal. So I
Metal.
am
Yeah,
not
yeah.
up north. There is no terracotta. So the tile
Right.
roofs.
Right.
So I've done a few of them, but only for like there's a
Why
big
is
Italian.
that are they not good? Is it not good for in the winter?
It doesn't have a real good freeze thaw cycle.
Got it.
So if water gets in it and starts freeze thawing, they crack. But they
Got
look
it.
gorgeous. So I haven't been doing any of those. It's just metal and shingles. So
Okay.
for the shingles, we offer a GAF HDZ shingle. Now for the first,
the GFA.
it's great.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's a no-brainer. For the first 15 years, it's an unlimited wind warranty. Your house will blow away before the shingles do.
no kidding. Wow.
Yeah. And you can go online and you can go to the website and see a video of it in the wind tunnel and everything. So, that's why we came down.
Let me ask you this, and I don't want to put
All
you
right.
on the spot. But when you say that there's this however many year warranty, does that no matter how many storms come through?
So for the first 15 years with the GAF HDZ by a certified contractor, it's an unlimited wind warranty.
No matter what.
No matter what. After that, it's a 50-year warranty total, and it's 130 miles an hour.
Because we got our roof done it wasn't a good deal. It wasn't good. And so then the storm came through and I said, hey, we had leak. And they said, oh yeah, no, your warranty, which was 5 years, a measly 5 years, might as well have put like paper mache up there.
Well, it was a 5-year through the contractor, not through the manufacturer, probably.
Yes, 5 years through the contractor. And so as soon as we got the storm, they're like, oh, no, that negates any of your warranty.
So listen, that's again. So when Megan called me up and was like, you got to come down here. It's tough. There are good roofers here. I've seen good roofers. I've talked to good roofers. You can tell. Now, I judge a book by its cover when it comes to construction.
Mm-hmm.
They need a decent truck. They can't come pulling up to your house smelling like a booze bag and running around like a nut. You need to make sure they're certified, they're educated, they know what they're talking about. And when they're certified, they can offer a manufacturer's warranty. Okay. Anybody can offer you we've been in business for 100 years. They can go out of business any day, and that's worthless. When they're certified, you get a certificate from the manufacturer that backs up
for the
warranty.
Materials that you're putting on
the materials
roof.
And the labor. Yes.
Okay.
So are you able to help people on Fort Myers Beach? I mean, are you getting down there and putting roofs on?
Yes. Yep. So we're doing shingles and metal.
Those concrete shingles or like
no, they're asphalt shingles.
Oh.
Yep. So they're called architectural shingles. So when you look at an architectural roof, they call it architectural. It's a laminated thing. So the whole roof blends in. So the old school shingle was called a 3-tab shingle. That's because you have 3 squares per shingle, and that's why they call it a 3-tab shingle.
Dana says her metal roof didn't get damaged at all by the storm. Is the metal roof stronger?
Right. Well, the metal roofs are great. Now, there's a big difference in all the metal roofs. So there are 3 types of metal roofing, basically. Okay. You have what's called the 5V system.
Of course.
That's the
we
one
all
where
know
you
what that
see
is.
the screws going through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those are great roofs. You can also get them in different gauges. So now the funny thing now is with steel, the lower the number, the thicker it is.
Well,
Every
that's
other
kinda
metal
weird.
is
Yeah.
So a 24 gauge is actually heavier than a 26 gauge. And then some people are installing 29 gauge.
You see, most
advise
people have
against
no idea, including me, what you're talking about.
Right.
They look up after the roof is on. They say, "Well, it looks pretty good."
Right.
So how do you know who to trust?
Yeah. Then they get 3 different bids, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's $5,000 more."
Yeah.
Well, you're getting
that's not even that much on a roof. I mean,
Well,
more. Yeah.
Well, again, I'm just throwing numbers
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there for the sake of conversation. But
So
the
are you
gauge-
recommending a specific type of roof for
Yeah,
people
what's
on
better?
Fort Myers
Okay.
What's
Beach?
So the
better,
5E
move
is a
or
great-
the other one?
So the 5E is a great system, but they're screwed down, and there are rubber grommets that are around that screw, and that's what you're relying on. And so in
Rubber
Florida,
and salt water.
the Florida and the rubber grommet, the heat and the salt water, it starts to corrode that prematurely, and especially with the hurricane that just came by. So with wind that hits a building, It wants to rip up the edge, but as it travels over the roof, it wants to pull up from the middle of the roof. So say the roof is flat and the wind blows over it. It wants to pull the middle
Suck
of that,
it up from the
just
middle.
like the opposite of how a wing lifts a plane.
Did you learn this in the class you took in
I'm a
Florida,
total dork
or
when
you
it
knew
comes to
that?
roofing,
Holy
I'm sorry.
Christmas!
It's bad.
Wow.
Like I
So
can
if
talk
the
for hours on
5V
anything about
is
roofing.
the 5V,
So the 5E is the one where you see the screws.
right?
All right. Then you have the standing seam. That's when the panel is laid out and there's a hidden fastener, okay, with a clip that holds that, and then the next panel comes over and clips into that.
Kind of like lays like that, like lays on top of. Yeah.
Like that. And that is a better system because now you're not relying on the rubber grommets.
Right.
Okay?
No rubber grommets.
No.
People.
Well, listen, I've seen a lot of roofs, they've held up, but I want to go back to that vibration of when the wind is traveling over. I've been on quite a few roofs.
He's got to go to the bathroom.
That's okay. I've been on quite a few roofs where it looks perfect, but then when you press on the panel and you press on the screw, they've loosened up just a little bit, and you really can't see it until you're up there looking at it. And that little gap, that screw is starting to work its way out. And as soon as it does, it's
That's
like
all the wind needs to get in there.
that's it. And it's like a
And
splinter
lift
in
it
your
up.
skin. That screw starts to work its way out, and then you have holes all over your roof pretty soon. So, the ways to repair that are you can seal them or get a whole new roof, or you can screw them back down. There's multiple options.
So there's that roof. There's the grommet, the rubber grommet. Then there's that
that's the
roof.
5V, and then there are the standing seam roofs. That is a
And then
better
what's
roof.
And then is there another one above that?
Well, now you can get into aluminum. You can get an aluminum metal roof with stainless steel clips. And
Aluminum seems like it would just bend and.
Well, it's not going to rust, and it's not going to get
No.
eaten away by the salt
No.
air.
But is it strong like steel?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's when you get into the gauges. So you have
Oh,
so
all
it's
right.
thicknesses, it's steel, it's everything else. A bunch of the roofs held up great, but the only ones that did hold up are the ones that went direct to the deck. Every roof that you see peeled off is from metal roofs going over the asphalt shingles.
Okay.
So you'll see it. You'll see the metal peeling off and the asphalt shingles underneath it. That's because there is no exact thickness of where that screw is going in. When you strip the deck, and you can make sure
now,
that.
when you say deck, are you talking about the?
I'm sorry, the roof deck. Yeah.
Yeah, the roof deck, like
Mhm.
where the wood is, like where
Correct.
the yeah.
The substrate.
Yeah. And then you put something on top of that, and then the metal roof or whatever. goes on
Correct. Yeah.
top
With the
of
metal
it,
roof,
right?
you have to get a high temperature underlayment, and this is, everybody's doing it. You don't have to be, we have to send in submittals with the.
We're deep into it.
We're deep into it. Yeah.
I know all
With
this
the
all this
permitting process, we have to
roof
send in
and
the
wind and
submittals.
rain talk. Just they couldn't hold it in anymore.
So for folks that are on the beach,
Yes.
what they want is a long, warranty.
Yep.
It's something that's going to stand up to anything that comes through. Now, say everybody had the sealed, what is it?
The
This one.
standing seam. So that's the
standing
ribs,
seam.
and you do not see the screws.
All right. So if they had that, would that have survived? Would that have held up during this Ian?
It would,
cracker?
as long as the installer installed it correctly. So you have to have the right amount of fasteners. So the amount
That's
of
the metal stuff that goes around those joists that are in your.
correct. So say you were to lay out a 1 foot panel
Mm-hmm.
and you put the clips in with the screws. You can do them at 2 feet on center. You can do them at 18 inches on center. You can do them at different things. And that is going to give you the wind warranty. And then the next panel
What
comes
if you
over
did
and
it at
covers.
6 inches? That
Well, then you would have a
really-
very strong roof.
Yes.
As long
I
as you
want
have
6
a
inches.
heavy gauge wood substrate also.
Now, Patrick, you brought some folks with you here. Who are they?
That is my girlfriend, Ashley.
Ashley.
I'm
Okay.
very lucky that she's been very supportive of this.
Yes.
And
When you
that-
say of this, what do you mean?
coming down here,
Yeah.
coming
because
down
you
here.
came from Rhode
Now, where are you
Island.
living?
Living
Where are you
in-
staying?
I live in a trailer
Wow.
behind Megan's house.
Your
Oh,
girlfriend's
there you go.
house.
No.
No,
No.
Ashley is my girlfriend.
Ashley?
Megan is my friend who called me,
I see.
who bought a house here a couple of years ago.
Don't.
Where?
Don't
So where
get
does
them
she
all
live?
upset
Where does she
now.
live?
Right on Baymar. Right
On the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're down on
I'm
the
right
beach.
there. So actually, when I come. So right now we're booked up, and we have a couple more spots open. I'm going to leave for the summer and then come back in October. It's
Where
a
the
little
hell are you
hot.
going?
I have to
You
go
can't
back to
lead
Rhode
these
Island.
people.
I have to. Well,
They
listen,
need roofs, Patrick.
but-
I'll be flying back and forth.
So
I'll
wait
tell
a
ya.
minute. So you're gonna come back? That's gonna be the tough time of year for everybody.
mean?
Down here? Well, when you come back September, October is
The 1 year
very active.
anniversary.
It's too hot right now to really. You definitely like. This is going to be the limit to where you want to get shingles. It's literally like melting under our feet.
Yeah.
So we can start right at sunrise.
And it's not even hot yet.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So it's going to start cooking.
So are you saying that people won't be putting roofs on during the summer?
They still do it. They
You
can
don't
let
recommend it though.
How do you put a metal roof
don't
on in
wanna-
that kind of heat?
I don't know. Again, so this is my first time in
Yeah.
Florida.
Okay.
This is
Don't
my
put him
first
on the
time
spot.
No,
dealing
I just
with
want to make sure
insurance.
he'll
You're
be
gonna be
honest.
up there
I just-
flipping
I don't
eggs
feel
on these
comfortable.
metal roofs.
I don't feel comfortable installing asphalt shingles in
Gotcha.
100-degree
Because you
weather.
don't think it'll last.
Well, when you step on the roof, it gets very gooey. So when you compromise the thickness of that shingle
see.
and where it's
Good point.
fastened, so it's just I wouldn't put my roof on
I see.
in 100-degree weather if I with shingles. Metal is another story.
Gotcha.
But
And
doesn't
tile,
that
you can
get
put tile-
hot?
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, gets super hot, and that's what baffles me about these dry-in inspection is like
These
some
what?
people. So basically, I have to pull a permit, I have to strip the roof off, and I have to dry it in, and that's putting down the underlayment. Then they have to inspect the dry-in before I'm allowed to put the shingles. Back home, I can do it all in one day.
Who needs to inspect it?
The town. They need to do a dry-in inspection. It's all of Florida.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Is that
it's-
realistic? Is that
I don't understand it. I think because there are so many
Yep. You're
people
right.
who skip
Mhm.
steps.
I
But
see.
so this is where when you hire a certified roofer, you don't have to worry about this. You don't have to rely on the town. You still have to do your due diligence, but they're installing the proper products and giving you a warranty that is
okay?
from a real
So let me
roofer
ask you
and
this: are there roofers that are not certified that get jobs?
there are roofers that are registered and licensed, but they may not be certified and
Well,
they
so
may not
what's
be
that last-
installing it.
Okay, so that last step requires what?
It's in the contract. You need to make sure the contract clearly describes every single step they're going to
But
take.
certified at what? Certified as
So I'm certified for all of it. So the manufacturer of the roofing material. Okay, so whether they're commercial, residential, they have to be certified in order to
To put
provide
that-
you with a manufacturer's warranty. And what that is the manufacturer trusts us
Right.
that we are doing it right, and they will back us.
But
on
how
a
does how
manufacturer's
does the
warranty.
average homeowner know to look for
They
that
don't. It's
part
very,
of
like
it?
they need to do their due diligence in researching that. They also need to really scrutinize the contracts because some people say, "Oh, it's a 50-year warranty," but then you read the fine print and
I
it's
wouldn't
really
even know
not.
what to look for.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened to us. Oh, you got
I've
this
helped
big
out a lot.
warranty
I've helped
and then-
out a lot of people, like, because they're like, "Why is this?" And I'm not trying to win every project out there. I can only do so much.
Right.
But some companies are out there just trying to scoop up everything, and I've seen some bad contracts, and I really feel bad for the people that got swindled into them. But
When you see licensed and insured, you think that's enough, but it's
You
not.
think
You're
so.
saying
It's
licensed,
not.
insured, and certified.
Correct. And you can go on the website. So everything
What
they're doing,
website?
anything. So if they're going to install a GAF, if they're
The
going to install
manufacturer's website.
right, if they're going to install a certain teed, if they're going to install a TAMCO, whatever it is that they're going to install, you go to their website and they will be listed as a certified
Man.
installer.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, I don't
These
think most
poor
people know
people-
that. They're
I
dealing
know,
with so
but
much shit
You
right
got
now.
to deal with
I've seen
like
people signing. I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
no, that's all right.
People have signed contracts where there isn't even a price on it. They were like, "We'll do it for whatever the
Right,
insurance
because
pays."
they're under a
and then
lot of
they
stress right
signed
now.
off all of their benefits.
Well, that's no longer going to happen.
Right. But the
But,
people
yeah,
that did
but the
sign,
people that did.
it's,
Yep,
it's,
yep,
it's,
yep.
it's a little
How
crazy.
do people?
That's what happened to us. We were that dumb
All right,
people
it's,
that
dear, stop.
assigned
We're
our
fine.
benefits.
Stop bringing us up. It's not about us. Patrick, how do people get in touch with you
I just want to make people feel
if they
better.
want a solid roof?
401 Roofing is the phone number. 401 Roofing. It's very easy to remember. They can go to our website, libertyroofco.com. They can find us on your website. They
Yep.
can find us on Facebook.
Yep. And
We're
we,
everywhere.
And he'll speak Portuguese if you need that.
Are
I'm
you
only, I'm only
serious?
half a Portuguese.
Wow.
Yeah,
and we'll read your.
Eu não falo
and-
português.
One of my best friends growing up from on Long Island was Portuguese.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
His name was I don't remember his name right
One
now.
of my best friends. I
Wow,
have
it was
no
so long ago.
recall of his name.
I remember buying my first Ted Nugent album together. Like we would listen to it in the garage. It
Oh,
was a
geez.
record album.
Yeah.
Record album. Ted Nugent.
What was that
Too
one
young
about
for
the
that.
garage? There was Ted Nugent had a couple wacky songs
Yeah,
though.
man. Yeah, Wango Tango,
Wango
the whole
Tango,
thing
that
back
was
then.
a-
Yeah.
That was a
Stranglehold. What was his name? Now it's gonna bug me. We were best friends until we weren't.
Apparently not.
Until we weren't. Well, we were little kids. I can't remember what I had for breakfast anymore. So
I remember my
Probably
best
had
friend
steak and eggs maybe for
no,
breakfast. If he was
no.
Yeah.
Portuguese.
I had rice.
cooking it on one of your roofs down here.
Do you know what I had
The
for
heat.
breakfast today? Rice cakes, 2 rice cakes with peanut butter, and a slab of turkey on top of that.
Disgusting.
That doesn't sound too. I mean, you are definitely more jacked in person than I didn't think you were that jacked in person. Really, you look great.
Well, that's because he's wearing a tight
Right.
shirt.
This
You
is
just
a
want
double-
I've been
free
trying- I've been
advertising
trying to
now.
flex
This is
a
a
little bit.
2X.
Please. The two of you. Good God. Let me get out of here while this bromance continues.
Oh. I think his name was Sal. No, that wasn't it. That doesn't
Well,
even
I'm in
sound
Rhode
right.
Island,
Doesn't
not
sound
Long
right.
Island, so Rhode Island's a little.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, Holly says her first album was by the Partridge Family. What was the first
Oh,
That's
album
a
you?
yeah.
tough gig.
What was the first album you ever bought?
The first album I received was a present from my mom. It was Hall and Oates
Nice.
and Journey.
Nice. Wait,
Yeah.
Hall and Oates and Journey. That's 2 different albums.
Two
well,
different
we got
albums,
two
but I got
different.
those 2
Yeah.
tapes.
Yeah.
They were tapes.
Not
And,
albums, tapes.
Not albums.
Were they 8 tracks or cassettes?
No.
Trying to think.
I'm only 45.
Oh,
So,
geez, another kid. 45. What was your first album?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Todd Rundgren? No, that wasn't the first one,
Yeah.
though.
Wow, that was my.
Oh.
I remember being
Leaf
on.
Garrett.
Oh,
Leaf
stop.
Leaf
Oh,
Garrett.
please.
Isn't
I
he,
remember-
like, part of the Partridge Family?
No.
Oh,
I remember being
Same
on the
type.
school bus
Those different.
when I heard that John Bonham died.
oh, geez.
I remember being in the back of the school bus because Led Zeppelin was so huge back
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
They- I mean,
That's how crazy.
I
That's,
grew up
remember
on
the
Led Zeppelin.
craziest
I went
crap.
from- I mean, I like everything from
yeah.
jazz to rock to.
Oh, the
heavy
greatest
metal
band
to
ever is
everything,
Led
yeah.
Zeppelin. Had to be the greatest
I
band
mean,
ever. I
yeah.
mean, just
But
every.
did you hear that? Did you hear that song that like "Stairway to Heaven" was copied off of?
No.
It's uncanny. Yeah, the Lemon song.
Yeah.
They stole a lot of stuff, but it was.
Led
We were
Zeppelin
talking
did, or
about that
people
today.
after them
Everybody's
stole their
stealing
songs?
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they all did.
Well,
but,
now
I
you
mean,
can't
these-
steal
I mean,
anything.
it's uncanny. It's like exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty
Robert
crazy. Yeah. So
Plant-
the Stairway
oh,
to
yeah.
What
Heaven
if
song.
Vanilla Ice stole something and he was
Here,
like, oh,
please,
it's like,
stay here. We're talking about rock and roll, not
Ah.
some goober.
Under
Yeah.
Pressure by Queen.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what
There
it
you
was.
go.
Yeah.
See?
Wow.
That was a big hit when I was in 8th grade.
Margaret's
Yeah,
first
me too, 8th grade.
Margaret's first album was ELO, and
There you
Rhonda's
go.
first album was Kiss.
Kiss.
Yeah,
This is a good
that's
one.
that's some rock
Kiss is
and roll.
all right, but they didn't. Did you know they didn't even know how to play instruments? That was like a.
I can't
That's
believe
like an adult boy band.
I-
They just
yeah.
like created them.
I can't believe they lasted as long as they did.
I can't
mean,
believe. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
now dressing like a woman's a
Love
regular
Gun.
thing.
I mean, you got Love Gun by Kiss. You've got.
Yeah.
So not
Oh.
touching that.
Well, Patrick, thank you so much for coming on, man. This has been
Right,
it's
yeah.
been fun.
Right.
So,
And
Quite
again,
revealing.
there are good roofers here. There's just a lot of bad ones. So you have to check it out. You
Yeah.
have to make sure you're doing your due diligence. You've got to make sure you get in the manufacturer's warranty. That is what's going to protect you so that you don't have to deal with the insurance company later.
Right.
give out the
Well,
number
thank you so
again.
much. Go
Patrick
ahead.
McKenna.
401 Roofing.
401 Roofing. Patrick McKenna, everybody from
Alright.
Liberty
Cheers.
Roofing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun, man.
Thank
A lot
you
of
so
fun.
much.
We'll have to have you back for sure. All right, dear. Let me read a couple more things and we'll bust out of here. We got a new pool in the backyard. We got new pavers and a new pool. And it's so nice to just sit out in the back when it doesn't look like crap. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking about buying or Marie, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, you know who to call. Alex King. Alex King's the man. You've seen everywhere in Fort Myers Beach. You know who Alex King is. Current Coastal Realty. You can give Alex a call right now on his cell phone and say, I want a house, Alex. I want a nice house, and I want it for $1 million less than what it's listed for on Fort Myers Beach. I don't know if we'll be able to find that, but give Alex a call. You know, the King family has been on the island since 1958. That's like, 10 years after Kim was born. He's the number one agent in sales volume for 6 straight years on Fort Myers Beach. And the King Family Foundation has donated over $250,000 in the past 2 years to FMB charities. Alex at currentcoastalrealty.com, and his phone number is 239-849-3663. Alex is the man, and I love his wife too. And finally, before we bust out of here, Remove It Pros. Maybe they need to ask Remove It Pros to remove all that crap on Estero Boulevard. They've been in business since 2014. They have 780 five-star Google reviews. That's 780 more than me and us in this show. You want to give David and Logan a call if you need stuff removed at Remove It Pros. 333-7678. That's 239-333-7678. Remove It Pros. They used to live on Cottage Street. Did you know that? They're local. They're in your neighborhood. And they're going to remove the gunk and the junk. David and Logan. 333-7678. Folks, this show would not be possible without your coffee donations. And I decided that I'm going to read some of the comments about the coffee donations that you sent to us at buymeacoffee.com/Beach Talk Radio or buykimandedcoffee.com. Jill and Ron from Chicago. Dear, we're going to finish the show now, but I'm going to read these, and I want her here to hear the nice comments that people say about us. Because without your coffee donations, we would not be able to, keep the hair flowing or keep the skirts on these tables.
You need to really stop. You're going crazy with everything.
So Jill and Ron from Chicago bought us 20 coffees today. Yep.
Wow. Thank you so much.
And their comments were,
I'm going to get some creamer and that's it.
Thanks, guys, for bringing us in the loop on the goings-on Fort Myers Beach while we're so far away, and doing it all with a sense of humor and a mass amount of useful information. Thank you to Jill and Ron. 3 bells for Jill and Ron.
Well, and I want to thank, it was so nice to meet Yvette. Is that? Yes.
Yep.
They left. From New York.
They bought 2 tank tops today.
Yep.
Let me continue with our coffee donators. Tom and Ann Cutler bought us 5 coffees.
Thank you so much.
5 bells for Tom and Ann. In the past 6 months, we've gone to your site every day to get information that no one else was willing to give us. Thanks for being the saviors of our sanity. We think there should be an annual Beach Talk Radio Day when we all wear our shirts and wander around showing our support for you and Kim. Thank you to Tom and Ann. Cheryl Logan bought us 2 coffees.
Thank you very much, Cheryl.
Thank you for keeping us informed on everything. Being a homeowner on the beach is great. How the information that we get from Beach Talk Radio, much more than the town or the news, since we live out of state. A big thank you from Indiana. Janet and David bought us 5 coffees.
Thank you, Janet and David.
Greetings from Cape Cod, Janet and David say.
I love Cape Cod.
You're the best. Thank you for keeping us informed.
And Martha's Vineyard.
We'll be back. And last but not least, from today, Julie bought us 5 coffees.
Thank you, Julie.
Huge plus for each and everything you've done for everyone. Run for mayor, Ed.
No, that's not going to happen.
Wish I could send you some Baileys for that coffee. Your hair always looks fabulous, Kim. Thank you to Julie, and thank you to everybody. You can go to buy.
I love everybody typing in their first.
I know.
Yeah, the
monkeys.
Eagles, the Monkeys, Bay City Rollers, Casey and the Sunshine Band.
SADUR Night. BuyKimandEdCoffee.com.
It's deteriorated.
And we thank you all for that.
Pat Stevens.
And lastly, before we bust out of here and get back to our nice backyard, these are the email addresses that you need to send
Come on, the band wants
your
to get
note.
going.
They don't start till 7.
Oh,
You need to send. I don't. You come up with a letter. There shouldn't be a form letter. It should be a personal letter, and attach those pictures. You can go to our Facebook page and steal the pictures from us that people have sent from the piles on Estero Boulevard. Kevin.Guthrie at em.myflorida.com. Holly,
did
if
you
you're
get
still
that
listening.
right? At EM?
Holly looked it up. If you're
Thank you,
listening, type it in
Holly.
there. Please type it in there. And Ray Sandelli needs to be notified.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
DIST as in district, but just DIST3 at legov.com.
Okay.
I know you love Ray. I love Ray. But still, it's got to start somewhere. We have to start the information flow.
But I just don't think they have the big. I don't think they have the big.
I think it needs to be a
things.
group effort. We need to go after this county. You need to go after the state.
You're not
the
going
town.
after anybody. You're asking for people to
Right.
work
You're right.
collaboratively.
You're right. Send out the information.
Work together.
Write a nice love letter with those pictures attached to it saying,
And maybe
say I got shoved in the neck with a
FEMA
piece of
could come
rebar.
back.
Go out there and hold on to the rebar and shove it in your neck. Put some ketchup in your neck and shove it in your neck and say, look what happened.
Okay.
I was walking down Estero Boulevard.
That's quite unnecessary and not appropriate.
I'm just kidding about that. But
I-
maybe you can stand on a pile. Stand on a pile or close to a pile and
At
take a
this
selfie.
point, I'm pulling away from you. I have nothing to do with this.
All right, you're out. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock at the Wahoo Willie's, which is on Olsen. It's on San
I want
Carlos.
to come here at
Yeah.
11 because they have poker here at 11.
Thank you, Holly.
I'm going to come and play poker here. Shuffle up.
All right, dear. I'm saying goodbye to our.
I'm saying goodbye to you.
We'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and our guest tomorrow will be Corky Condon. Yes, everybody loves Corky. And also Marie from Nautical Tiki Cruises. Locals from the beach tomorrow. Don't forget our concert is next Saturday night at Moss Marina. Bring your backpacks. We'll be looking for you to bring your backpacks. Thank you all for donating all the school supplies. Our garage is full, and we keep getting boxes every day. We're going to have a special show this Sunday to talk about high-quality mobile homes at 1 o'clock. And then, of course, the 5K race. We're up to 215 registered runners and walkers. There's just all kinds of stuff going on. Thanks to all you for participating and being part of our silly little podcast or dinky little podcast. And we'll be back tomorrow. Say it with me, everybody. Bye-bye.